there's a certain amount of resentment of wealth in the country. I'm not sure where the line is, but there's a sense that that's just making too much money, whatever that is. You know, if the CEO is paid 250 times the average worker's pay, that just feels wrong. Maybe if it was 20 times, that would feel right. John Mackey at Whole Foods famously put a cap at 19 times the CEO's pay over the average worker's pay. But I don't know where the number is. One of the reasons we want to reward people with a big payoff is that the failure rate is so high that they need to have that reward to take the risks. So how do you think about that in your context of your models?
Well, you know, I think it's a tough time in American life, Micheal, where you do have an economy that is what I call like very winner take all. It's kind of extreme. You know, like some other people have called it the superstar economy, where if like you're really talented, you end up accruing a lot. As one example, about 35% of Americans graduate from college with a 4-year degree. So you're a country of 2/3 high school graduates for the most part. And so your question is, okay, do you need to be an outlier to succeed in American life at a high level? And if you do, is that sustainable? And one of the arguments I'd make is like, well, shoot, like you certainly don't want to have to make it so that like that's the reality. My last book was called The War on Normal People for this reason, is that I think we're squeezing everyday Americans more and more, and our political system's part of it. You know, if you had a functional political system, you'd be doing more to try and make things more affordable or less unaffordable or less ridiculous for Americans. But at this point, the system is run by corporate interests who have very high levels of resources to get their way. So that leads to an environment where if someone has been successful, then everyone's like, fuck you, you're like a terrible person, and you know, you're a product of like this malevolent rigged system. I have friends who are very successful. I have friends who are, you know, not as successful. And one of the things that the Forward Party is about is like, look, we don't want to like demonize or villainize anyone. Like if someone's successful within the system, I'm going to say to you, it's probably not their fault the system is set up that way. They were just like running their race. You know, as long as they're, you know, like trying to do something positive, like it's fine. It's one of the things that, you know, I said on the presidential debate stage, they were like, you know, throwing rocks at Tom Steyer for being a billionaire. And I'm like, Tom Steyer spending tens of millions of dollars trying to address climate change. Like, you know, it's like, you really going to like knock him for that? I mean, the system, you know, ended up making it so that someone like him could have those resources. So we have to get everyone together. We have to get people who are on the outside looking in to say, look, I get it. This system's not very well designed for you and yours. And people who are doing very well in the system and be like, look, this is not sustainable. Like we have to try and make it so it makes sense for more people.